Welcome to UBO127. We come back with you another one. Now this is the other fusion piece to the guy I covered yesterday, the other samurai. So him and her work in conjunction together. So let's get into her. So her name is Yumiko. She's a void legendary support champion, and her kit is ridiculous. Her A1 is Wear Claws, and it attacks one enemy 2 times. Each hit steals 7.5% of the target's turn meter if the champion has 50% HP or more, which is nice. Stealing, speed is always a nice thing. Stealing anything in this game is pretty good. So the second part is each hit heals this champion by 30% of the damage inflicted. If this champion has less than 50% HP. So, that's here or there, because it's like she's not gonna do no damage anyway. She's not gonna be built for damage. So, the A2 is Destiny's Mirror, attacks one enemy and has an 80% chance of placing a Hex debuff for 3 turns. Now, they're trying to push Hex, and so far nobody's been picking it up. But, we'll see what happens. But I definitely appreciate the fact that they're putting another Hex champion in the game. That helps. That will help. That's only going to help Hex. So, the passive effect is whenever an enemy tries to place debuffs on either this champion or an ally, has a 55% chance of transferring these buffs to a random enemy under a Hex debuff placed by this champion. This happens before the buff is placed, so the debuffs are placed on the initial target. So once you put the Hex on, you'll be able to steal whenever they try to place a debuff on this champion or an ally. So anybody, they're trying to debuff anybody, you have 55% chance of transferring these debuffs to an a random enemy under Hex. So it will transfer that, man, you don't get no debuffs, so you stay clear, which is pretty cool. Almost like a reverse cleanse. Has a 30% chance instead against bosses. Okay, so it lowers against bosses, but you still have it, which is good. Whenever someone fills the turn meter of an enemy under a Hex debuff placed on by this champion, this champion's turn meter will be filled instead. Man, she's stealing, not only transferring debuffs away from your people, but also stealing turn meter again. So this is 2 effects that steal turn meter under her. Now this one is where it gets crazy. So Dance of Time decreases the cooldowns of all ally skills by 3 turns. That's Prince Kaimar's ability. But then it says, and increases the cooldowns of all enemy skills by 3 turns. Now that's Warlord's ability. So they combine Warlord's ability with Prince Kaimar, and they're already solid champions as it is. So she has 2 abilities in one. And it will not decrease the cooldowns of this champion's other skills. So, of course, it doesn't work on her. But this is an excellent ability, and it has 2 cooldowns. So it's 5 turns, just like Prince Kaimar. It's exactly the same stuff that is better. Man, I would love to get her, but she's a void champion, so that's it's a pipe dream. Deep Cover is the passive. Places a Perfect Veil buff on this champion for 2 turns at the start of each round. Man, that is great. Perfect Veil is just an amazing ability. It reduces the damage you take, and when you fight against Hydra, you don't take any fears from the Fearhead. So this champion is immune to all debuffs if they are under a Veil or Perfect Veil buff. This champion is immune to all debuffs, so you can't even debuff her. So you have to worry about resistance. She under Veil, she's cool. Now, I think this is the part that you have to team up with Fox Hunter. Whenever a Veil or Perfect Veil buff is placed on an enemy, has a 75% chance of stealing that veil. So not only can she put veil on herself and be veiled by other people, but she can also steal the enemy's veil so they don't have veil. This happens before the buff is placed on the target, but you have to have Fox on 18. But still, that is amazing ability. Man, she is incredible. Love this girl. I can't wait to get her. Man, she is an awesome character. That is so cool. So, man, I wish you guys luck in getting her. I'm gonna try and get her. I'm gonna be like, oh, come on, raid people, send me Yumiko. Oh man, she's great. I hope I can pull her one day. But anyway, thanks so much for coming and checking this out. Please like, comment, subscribe. Show your boys some love. You want to show some support, go to CashApp UBO127 or go to my website, islandbreezemedia20.com to pick up some merchandise. And I'll see you guys on the flip side. Peace.